Yeah, Salaki about that. Part 2, once again, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahbashim Ashai, Bashim Kakadash. But I was talking about this anarchy spirit, and that's only going to increase the protests. The protests that you see are happening throughout the earth. That's just a prelude to the breaking out of all-out chaos. Because soon it's not going to be no protesting. It's going to be, a bloody battle and conflict out there in these streets. All right, in all these nations. All right, from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Why? Because of the so-called white man. All right, and his oppressive ways. The people are tired of that shit. All right, that's why the scripture says it's going to be sedition among men. That's what that is. It's a violent uprising against the established ruler or government. This 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. That's right, and you see that. All right, with those protests, those people, going at each other, getting hit upside the head with police clubs and being tackled and stuff. It starts like that, and that's been going on, in France and these different major countries and cities. But it's going to turn violent. It's going to turn deadly. You know what I'm saying? To the point where the police force won't be able to do nothing, man. All right, the people are going to be completely fed up with this dictatorship regime that's oppressing the people. All right, because the wicked elite banking families, the national bankers that's ruling the earth. All right, they're ruling in wickedness, man. They don't want to give people the proper, wages for their work, and so on and so forth. All right. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. That's right, sedition among men and invading one another. All right, running up in each other's houses for the lack of bread, for the lack of food. Everything's going to break forth to the point where these people, they can't afford their energy, all right, or food or water or anything. All right, and you know what they're going to propose? The MOTB, the mark of the beast. All right, which I'm not going to go into, but y'all should know it's the micro C-hip. All right, and this is not medical, advice. This is not medical advice. Okay, this is just scripture. I'm not giving any medical advice. This is not medical misinformation. Disclaimer. Right? But it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. What's that? The elite bankers, the senator, the mayor, the president. They're not going to regard these different, established rulers. Okay, it says, in the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? It's going to be all out chaos and pandemonium. All right, so what we're seeing with these demonstrations is just a prelude to what's getting ready to come to pass in full-fledged. All right, it says the demonstrators' route was flanked by riot police who charged into action when black-clad protesters began smashing the windows of a bank. See? Footage captured by a video agency abruptly showed numerous masked rioters being arrested before officers began clubbing nearby protesters with batons. In footage shared on social media, armored police officers were seen tackling some demonstrators to the ground and violently shoving them. Right? Go grab a scripture. book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. That's right, it's going to be a time of trouble. Kind of like what you see in these videos, or what's going on in France, or what's going on in the Israel-Palestine thing. All right, it's times of trouble, man. We've been talking about how the Lord was going to bring destruction, man. When they said peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come upon them, man, and the whole earth is going to be humbled. All right, the haughty nature and the pride of these people, it's all going to be brought to naught. All right. So the time that we're going into is going to make this demonstration look like nothing. All right, because the scripture says that, as a matter of fact, let me go grab it. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Right, so the elect is going to be delivered in these evil times that we're living in. All right, it's going to be worse than just a demonstration. You know what I'm saying? And protest and getting clubbed and arrested, man. It's going to be bodies all over the street. All right, people killing each other. All right, and not having no pity upon each other. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab that scripture. It says, 2 Ezra 14 and verse 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burden of a man, and put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Right, it's going to get more violent than what you see. All right, on camera and stuff. It's going to be more gory, more graphic. All right. And it's not just going to be something that we see, you know what I'm saying, on the news, on a media outlet. It's going to be something that you see, in your everyday life on a day-to-day basis as this place progresses to be destroyed. Okay? Paris police did not say how many people were arrested, but that a few were detained. The CGT trade union said that 20,000 people took part in the demonstration, and that a total of 200,000 protested in other towns and cities across France. The day of disruption came exactly 6 months after Macron signed into law a bill raising the retirement age for most French workers from 62 to 64. And 3 days before the union are set to meet with the president for pay talks. Aside from the retirement hike, Friday's protests took place against the backdrop of persistently high inflation. We talked about that as well. All right, how the money system that's set up here throughout these different Edomite kingdoms, all right, is all going to be destroyed. All right, it's going to be hyperinflation. The money not going to be worth nothing. That's why war is on the horizon right now. It says, because the money ain't worth shit. It says, which remains stuck at 5% year on year. In September, energy and food prices have spiked higher, however, at 12% and 10% respectively. Right? It's going to go up way more than that. 2 points. It's going to spike, 230% or 300%.